What a difference a year makes. The White House is celebrating the year's end with historic success securing the border, posting this video of the shocking transformation of what it looked like under President Biden compared to what it looks like now. U.S. Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks posted that video. He joins us now. And Chief, when I saw you posted that video, I immediately reached out to you, said, we got to talk about this because that littered trash all along the banks of the river is from Brownsville, Texas. I know it because I lived it. I was there. And to see now.
You know, um, Welcome to the video, everyone. This is Justin Paul. I'm doing a reaction here of a video that was posted by Border Patrol. Um, it shows an area in Texas from last Christmas to this Christmas, and they're showing like the difference. And as you can see in the little screen there on the right, a lot of trash and stuff littered. I mean, you seen like multiple people crossing, trying to get over into the United States in that area. I mean, look at all those people. Those are all people up there to the right, above Christmas. People go through a lot of dangerous terrain and conditions in order to get into the United States. And they're going to interview this agent here who, they posted this video, and let's see what they have to say here.
Video, I immediately reached out to you, said, we got to talk about this because that littered trash all along the banks of the river is from Brownsville, Texas. I know it because I lived it. I was there. And to see now no one coming across, the numbers down nearly 100%. I wanted to bring you on to reflect back on the year. And I think, of all of the things the American people voted for, it was President Trump's mandate to secure the border. You have done it in an unprecedented way. How were you able to achieve it?
And Griff, thanks for having me on it. And it's pretty simple, right? We have a president that supports us, a secretary and Secretary Noem that says, Chief, what do you need? What does the U.S. Border Patrol need? And then they get out of our way and let us do the job. It wouldn't be possible without the support of them. But ultimately, it's letting Border Patrol agents get out there and do what Border Patrol agents know how to do. And so we're actually enforcing the law. We're prosecuting and deporting those that come in illegally, shutting off that pull factor that encouraged people to come here. But like you said, that area was Brownsville, Texas, and the area was so littered with trash that there was literally 4 to 6 feet of just trash from illegal immigrant after illegal immigrant crossing the border and then dumping the trash as they made their way north to be processed and released. And so once you take away the pull factor, which is that if you cross the border illegally, there'll be no punishment. You'll be released into the country and provided some type of stipend at the cost of American taxpayers. Once you realize that's not going to happen, your probability of apprehension is great. Your probability of prosecution is even greater, and your probability of deportation is almost 100% certain. It really shut down that flow. So we just simply started providing a consequence for that illegal activity. And then we were able to get our agents back on the border, actually conducting enforcement where we didn't have every one of them inside processing and leaving that border wide open.
Look at these pictures, man. I'll come back to that area of the video, but I mean, look at these scenes of I mean, look at this, y'all. This is these are people from other countries, man. Thousands of people. This is Eagle Pass, Texas. This is 2023. Some of these people are in your communities. It's crazy. Just absolutely nuts. The floodgates was wide open, man, and people took every advantage they could of this whole thing. I mean, look, like just putting yourselves in danger of coming over barbed wire fences. Just barbed wire all over that place, just trying to keep people out, and they still risk being cut up and everything, to get themselves over here. Like, walking for miles, days, just to get into America. You know, some of them, innocent people, just families trying to make a way, but also it's criminals amongst these groups, you know. And as they were saying, man, they're getting stipends, off of American tax dollars in order to, allow these people to live. Um, Man, thankfully, man, we have a president, man, who's really taking this shit seriously.
Yeah, and Chief, we've been showing it to our viewers here a lot of the thousands, 3,000, 4,000 a day that would come across an Eagle Pass. There was, for me, one moment I filmed a guy coming across illegally wearing a specific T-shirt that really, I think, now tells the story. You see him here on your screen. He's wearing a Biden-Harris T-shirt. I asked him as he crossed illegally and into the country whether or not he thought the Biden-Harris administration was trying to tell him to come, to help him to come. And he said, honestly, yes. And it's no fault of him. I'm not making fun of this individual. It was just that the previous administration seemed to welcome this. And it seems that the message now from this administration is quite different.
Yep, the message is very clear. If you want to come to this country, you come illegally. You come the right way, you apply, you go through the process. If you come illegally, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you will be deported.
And just very quickly, you do have Democrats that are not only is it ironic, perhaps, that they're saying that President Trump is illegally deporting illegal aliens, but also you now have Jasmine Crockett accusing the White House of being dishonest about border numbers. She says that these numbers aren't accurate. What do you say to her?
Look, Jasmine Crockett has said some pretty outlandish stuff. But I tell you what, I extend an open invitation to Jasmine Crockett or any other elected official that would like to go down to the border, and we can show them for themselves. Griff, I ran into you several times down on the border over the last couple of years when I was serving as the Texas border czar under the last 2 years of the Biden administration. I've returned, to be the chief of the Border Patrol, and I will tell you this, night and day. Last week, there was a day where we had 113 people that crossed the border, were apprehended, and set into some type of process. 113. And there were days in Del Rio, Texas, where there was over 12,000 people crossing that border. And a place like Eagle Pass, Texas, where in 3 days, more people had crossed the border than the entire population of that border town. And so just completely overrun. But I invite Jasmine Crockett and any other politician that wants to come down and question those numbers. I'll take you down there personally, take you anywhere you want to go on that border, and I will show you night and day the difference.
Of course, they're not going to take you up on that offer. No, they'd rather just sit and talk and, just say just any and everything, man, trying to rile up their base. But when you try to tell people to, hey, come see for yourselves, come lay your own two eyes on this shit, they're not gonna take you up on that offer. They'd rather just sit back and just say whatever, man, because it doesn't benefit them to see the truth. Then they won't be able to have the talking points that they have if they actually go and see the truth. It debunks everything that they're saying. So, of course, man, individuals like Jasmine Crockett or the Democrats, they're not gonna. They're pissed off that this is happening. Because they were finding a way to line their pockets, to increase their base with individuals that was coming over here illegally.
We have shut down this border. We are pushing toward operational control. We will get there under this administration and under the leadership of President Trump and Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security. We will get there, but I challenge her and anyone else. Let's take a trip.
You are certainly there in securing the border in an unprecedented way. Chief Mike Banks, I give you kudos, applaud you for your accomplishment, and to all of the men and women in green who work holidays, work tirelessly to make our border safe. Chief Banks, thank you for taking time, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, man, my hat's off to all of the Border Patrol agents, ICE agents, any agency, Homeland Security, everyone that's doing their job as far as trying to keep, people from crossing over illegally, um, helping those who come legally and try to, become U.S. citizens. As they were saying, man, y'all working tirelessly, y'all putting yourselves in real dangerous situations, and now I know it had to be hard over the last few years, trying to deal with, everything that was happening, man. As he was just saying, man, it was thousands of people coming into Eagle Pass, and in that area, like, more people coming in than the actual population of that area. Like, just think about that. And again, some of these folks are still amongst us and stuff like that, but man, I just can't believe how open our borders were. And even back to the guy who was wearing the Biden Harris t-shirt, he knew that administration was just going to allow him to just come right on in, no matter, his background, no matter what he may have done previously. you know it didn't really matter. He was going to be let into the country. And I mean, images speak for themselves. Go ahead and wrap this up. I feel like this topic is one of the topics that's going to be talked about for, like, Trump's whole presidency. So, anytime I see any news clips that's covering this whole topic, I'm definitely gonna look to react to it. Um, you know, you gotta think, man, us Americans, man, we can't just go to any country and just illegally be there and, not have any consequences that happen to us. Like, I do want y'all to put that in perspective. And a lot of us, live our normal lives and are not necessarily affected by a lot of this stuff. Um, and that's the privilege that we have being Americans. Some of us are privileged to the point that we don't have any, we're not affected at all by a lot of this stuff. And I think a lot of people should be a lot more grateful of that privilege. You know, that's just how I feel about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.